All right, guys, welcome to Team Call Tuesday. I'm so excited to have Jolee here. Before we jump right into her, though, I just have a few quick announcements that I'll share, but don't worry, we'll post those in the team page because I just don't want to take a lot of time. I know it's late for her. She's over on the East Coast. So let's get this open. I had to restart my computer before this call. So, here it is. Here we go. Come on, if it'll go, because now that Zoom is on, it takes forever. So really quick, guys, we had an epic October. I want to thank all of you guys in the wee hours of trick-or-treating and everything with your kids. Text messages were coming through like, I'm going to make it happen. I'm doing it right now. So-and-so's filling out a card, and that just created so much energy. So thank you to all of you, and I'm so proud of you guys. Keep up that great work, and let that be your momentum into November and December. We have a lot to look forward to. So absolutely incredible job finishing October really strong. I can't see the chat. But that is awesome. So let's see, here we go. I can't choose just one of you guys so you're all sharing Coach of the Week this week because you guys pulled it out. Literally, it was like the witching hour on Halloween, and it was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 you all texted me that you made it happen. And I have to give you all kudos and to everybody that hit. But these are the ones that literally work to make it happen till the bitter end. So great job, guys. Congratulations there. We have a few new girls to the team this week. And I know Heather's added a few runners, which we're really excited about, but Michaela's brand new. She signed up on Halloween with me, and I'm really excited to invite her to the team. Some of you may know her. So let's give her a warm welcome, and we'll go from there. So welcome, Michaela, if you're on. Real quick on announcements, guys, for November. This is a crazy busy month. So our flash sale was extended till Wednesday, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So still, if you can sell those challenge packs and hit the ground running for the first week of November, that's awesome. Let's go. This week, if you haven't done any of the live workouts and any of the premier workouts for this week, it's super fun. You get to enter into a drawing. They're giving away Shakeology and mixed bikes and a ton of stuff. I got to do the Dallas and Megan workout today, Cycle and Strength. I loved it. And then they give you a little code word during the workout that you enter in for the sweepstakes to win. So if you can catch those guys, freaking do it because it's awesome. The $20 off the Total Solution Pack is still rolling hot, so let's run with that and make that happen. That's a great price for all of our people to get started, especially during the holidays. And this month, aside from our normal Success Club promotion, you also get a body hat if you hit Success Club. So that's huge. And remember, for those that hit last month, they're getting that training with KK. So a couple added bonuses for hitting Success Club in the months other than just the annual prizes that they have. So super awesome. Also, anyone that buys the Total Solution Pack, and it's actually anyone that sells their first Total Solution Pack. So for those new coaches, if you sell it or if someone purchase it this month, they'll get 50% off when Job 1 launches if they want that program. So awesome sauce. There, November 9th, starting November 9th for that week, they're going to do an apparel flash sale, which, guys, we make volume off apparel. So this would be something I would share not just with our coaches and downline, but share it with your customers. They like to sport some swag every once in a while. It also makes great gifts, but check that out because that should be awesome, and it will help if you guys need to get people active, because we are entering into that crazy qualification for Star Diamonds for the Bellagio or Bust. And if you can help get your people active with apparel, that works as well. Just take note that November 15th, it's only like 12 days away. We're going to get the sample of Job 1. And then that whole week in the championship or the champions page, they're going to do a Job 1 takeover. So amazing, amazing. Let's really leverage that launch. And then there'll be a Job One special event for those that have body on November 22nd. So mark your calendars for that. This is the team calendar. Like I said, it's a crazy busy one this month. I'm not going to go over everything that's on here. There's lots of power hours, calls, desalination calls, all the things. I will post this in the team page, but please take a look at it. Okay. So that's what I have for that. I know that was like, whew, super fast, but don't worry. I will get it all up in the team page for you guys to take screenshots and whatever you need to do. But moving on to the good stuff. It reminds me of that reel. Can we get to the good part? That's Jolee. Okay, this amazing powerhouse woman I met through the 645 test group. And she is in Erin Hopkins' downline, which I'm sure you guys are very familiar with. Crazy Erin. We love her dearly. Jolee has been a coach for 5 years. She's been married for 20. This month, actually, she's celebrating an anniversary. She is a mama to Peyton and Bartlett. I love both of those names. They're teenagers, so you teen mamas can totally relate to her life right now. And she has the most adorable little golden doodle puppy. And I know, like, in the beginning when we met, she was kind of niching towards golden doodle owners and stuff. I'm sure she's going to talk a little bit about her social media and stuff, but I love following her because Rosie makes a regular appearance. That's one of the reasons. She's a 4-time elite coach, guys. She's been in Success Club 10 for 61 months. She's an 11-star in her first, 3-star in her second, and a 1-star in her third. So we also connect on a crazy level because she is a former yoga teacher and personal trainer. And that's why we just connected so much during the 645 test group. So she's going to tell us about her story. And you guys, she has the best sense of humor and her stuff is fire. So I'm going to let her take it away and breathe some life into you guys because she's phenomenal. I love you, girlfriend. Take it away.
I love you too. I really do. And it's such an honor to be able to speak to your team. I know you love your team so much. So, having me on your call is a huge, huge, huge honor. And I just wanted you to know that. And I want your team to know that she just really loves y'all so much. Before I get into like my story, and I want to leave y'all with some tactical things, I heard something in the slides about a lot of y'all are pushing for a Bellagio or bust, which is what's happening on my team right now. And I want to drop some nuggets right now that are like what you can do tonight to help get people active. Okay. So this is what my team is doing. First of all, peppermint Shakeology dropped today. That's a huge one, right? To help get people active. But what my team is doing right now is they're calling it Bougie Gatorade. Hydrate and collagen. And right now, people are starting to get into that season of like the hustle of the holidays, not wanting to like commit to a nutrition plan, people have fallen off. And so think of people in your downline that have fallen off, that maybe feel like a failure, or maybe they're probably hiding from you because they joined your challenge group at some point, they've gone inactive, and they feel like in order to be a part of your community, they need to be working out, drinking Shakeology, which is what they should be doing, right? And following a nutrition plan. What if you could get them back into the community and have them commit to 60 days of when they wake up, the first thing they do is drink 8 ounces of Hydrate with Collagen, right? And you can make like a cute little Canva. I will send over what I've got for my team over to Katrina, so she has for you all, but it's like literally like a little check marker, and it's like a win the week, that all it is drinking Bougie Gatorade. And what woman doesn't want that around this time of year when you're eating more sweets, you're eating more stuff with salt in it, you're staying up later, right? And you want your skin to look good. Have y'all had Hydrate and Collagen? What in the world did they do to make it work? So you got to get like super fired up about it on your stories, get super fired up in voice clips with people. And I watch people go from fallen 1 stars they went from, they were following 1 stars and they were emerald, and they got their 1 star back with this approach. So no, I want y'all to see that as proof, right? That this can happen, and people are craving for community this time of year and craving for something that they can do, like some sort of self-care check, pat on the back and go, right? And that helps build that confidence. And think about, if they do that for the next 60 days, they're going to stay active, right? And they're going to be in their community, and they're going to be getting all the content that you're giving in your community to help them kick off the new year and then want to do the whole thing, right? That's always the goal. Okay, I hope that helped y'all. All right, so I'm going to dive right in. So thank you for introducing me. I hear the accolades, and I don't believe that they're me, really, because I'm still Jolee from the block, is how I see myself. I was born and raised in South Carolina. I'm 47 years old. I truly never left this area except for 1 year to go live in Michigan, and then ran my southern little patootie back to the South. Okay. You heard I've been married for 21 or 20 years. I've been with him for 24 years all in. And I'm just like a quiet girl that doesn't have a big circle of friends. And so how did I get into this whole Beachbody thing, and then start to build belief that I could be everything that she said, right? Let me go back to my story. And so, I taught yoga and personal train for 9 years total. And when you teach yoga and personal training, you truly are, it's like a servant job. You don't get paid the amount of hours that you put in. There's washing the sweat towels, there's wiping sweat benches, there's driving from all over town. Like literally, guys, I was at 5 different locations between teaching yoga and personal training, and was just working all these crazy hours that suited other people's schedules, but not mine. And so I would ping pong all over town for 9 years, y'all. And 9 years, I did not see my kids off to school, because mommy was leaving in the middle of the night, is what it felt like, while they were sleeping. And I was going to go set up for my first client, and then ping pong, ping pong, ping pong until they got out of school. Now, if you're a mama, when kids get out of school, you don't clock out. That's when it's like hammer down time for mom time, right? And so my husband would take care of the morning shift with the kids. It's terrible that I think of the 9 years as shift work with our kids. And I would take care of the afternoon shift with the kids, which is the homework, the after school activities. And they truly were getting what was left of me. I had been giving to people all day long. And, I found myself, about a month before my 42nd birthday, and I stepped on the scale, which was not normal for me to do that. But, Lululemons were doing their job of holding parts where they needed to be. But when I went to go put on jeans, they told the true story. And I stepped on the scale, and it was a number I did not recognize. And I was like, so pissed. And I was doing this thing where I would scroll and eye roll, is what I call what I did on social media. And so my habit was every night, my husband was working late, I would watch The Real Housewives of whatever, drink wine after I got my kids to bed, and scroll and eye roll on social media. And I saw my friend and my coach, Erin Hopkins, do a transformation post. And you would have thought I would have been like, good job, girl. I was like, she's doing that Beachbody thing, right? And because it felt like a threat on what only thing that I knew with teaching yoga and personal training person to person. And so I did the thing where I was on Facebook and went on her Facebook page and just started going deep into her Facebook. And I was like, I couldn't deny she looked good. I couldn't deny she looked happy, and I couldn't deny that I wanted a piece of that, right? But it was total envy, total judgment. And I texted her. So I'm like the magical unicorn, right? That reached out to her coach. I'm going to give an asterisk here at this point. I had been invited to do this for 2 years prior by somebody else, right? So I believe that person planted the seed, but it was my relationship with Erin that the reason why I reached out to Erin. And so I reached out to her and said, I want to know what you're up to. I knew what it was, but I needed to know the details. And I literally said, if you ask me to be a coach, I will never be insert explicit word friend again. Like truly, it's a text message that she loves to send on August 2nd, 2016, when I texted her. 1 month, 3 days before I turned 42. She laughed. And the next thing she did, she met me where I was. So she did not send me a coach link. She listened to what I needed, which was quick workouts, and she listened to what I needed, which was nutrition. We all need that, right? And you know what she did? She showed up in my yoga class the next day. So really, like, I want to tell you the story behind this, because I don't know where everybody is in their coaching journey right now, whether you signed up yesterday or whether you've been doing this for 10 years. It's still the same way to do this. You listen to where people are, you meet them where they are, you follow up like crazy, and whenever you can get face to face with someone, you do, right? So she showed up, and I'm telling you girls, that's what sealed the deal. Because like, she jumped off out of her skin, how beautiful she looked, how radiant she looked. She just looked happy, right? And I did the whole thing where I was like, I'm not doing that shit, girl. And she met me where I was. You know what she told me? She's like, no big deal. It comes with it. Just sell it on the mom swap. And I've seen Shakeology on the mom swap. I was like, oh, that just must what people do. So she wasn't trying to sell me on it. I never once felt sold, right? And y'all, what she was doing, she was teaching me how to be a successful coach by listening to me. And I literally apply this every single day in conversations. So let me keep going. So I sat on the link. I was the girl that's the purgatory girl. Do y'all call the viewed cart part of your share cart purgatory? Where you're like, refresh, what's going on? So I was a purgatory girl for 1 week. Her challenge, she had a deadline of when her challenge was starting, right? So I knew the start date. It was clear, defined start date. We as a culture, as a diet culture, as a health culture, as all that stuff, I know we're trying to change that diet culture, but that's what we are conditioned to know when we're starting to challenge, right? So I knew it was starting on Monday. Saturday, the link still wasn't filled out. She followed up with me a ton. And I had a come to Jesus moment and sold a bunch of my kids' stuff on the Mom Exchange. And 3 hours later, I had cash in hand, enough money to buy my challenge back. And that was like so freaking empowering to me. I believe as women that we will get super creative when we want something, right? The only issue is when we want this, we have to show up for it, right? We don't go but get creative because we want a cute handbag and then we carry the cute handbag and we don't have to show up for the handbag. We just carry the cute handbag. But this is something that's like taps into that fear of failure. It taps into that fear of like showing up. It taps into that fear of like, oh God, I got to look at what I'm eating, right? So I signed up, keep going with my story. And I completely got overwhelmed with these containers and all this stuff. And again, she met me where I was. But y'all, the biggest thing that I want to tell y'all is that I went all in as soon as I could. And I had this huge epiphany on day 4 that this was way more than a quick fix. This is what I'm eating way more than I normally do. On day 7, I felt like I just felt just incredible. And my husband said, I feel like I have my wife back. And so if you haven't told your story, I invite you to tell your story to your success partner, to your upline. Like, I can't even tell you, I probably tell my story I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 times a month, right? Because it totally reminds you and puts you in that place of where you were when you were doing this. And it puts you into the place of who you're speaking to, no matter if you're on day 1 or day 10 years down the road, right? So here I am. This is working. This feels great. And I want to bring my friends to do this because I felt like I was holding on to like the biggest secret in the world. That's literally how I started coaching, guys. I felt like I wanted to tell the whole planet what I was doing. And I roped friends in with Erin's help and roped them into doing this with me starting a week after me. And it was, y'all, it lit me up like no other to like turn around and be like, leg day is a bitch. You know what I mean? And like, or don't shove the bread in the yellow container. Like I felt like the expert all of a sudden, but not really the expert because I was in it with them. You know, I was coaching, but didn't know I was coaching. And then it made me show up more. And so fast forward, finished 21 Day Fix was the first program I did. And I finished my first program and I had 8 friends actually that were finishing right behind me. And so I finished the 21 days. I lost 7 pounds. Hurrah, right before my 42nd birthday. I dropped 2 pant sizes, like huge hurrah right there. And you would have thought that was the thing that was like the biggest success. It wasn't. Have y'all ever run a marathon before or a half marathon or a race or anything like that before with friends? You ever done that? Am I only the crazy person? The funnest part for me is if my friend finishes first, having her cheer me on, or if I'm going for, if I finish first, like I'm getting ready to run a half marathon this weekend, like cheering people across the finish line. And that's what I felt like I was doing with my friends that were finishing it. And I became addicted to friends finishing it and me contributing to their success. I became addicted to friends. I mean, this gets me choked up saying I was running next to my son who was learning how to ride a bike. I wore my bathing suit across the pool deck and didn't feel like I needed to go to the bathroom and didn't feel like I needed to wear a cover up. That was what one of my friends said. And to now where it's like I'm off cholesterol medicine. So just really quick in the chat, if you have access to the chat, I would love to hear, you know, any wins that you get from your clients. Only a 5K, but I get your vibe is what Heather said. I want to hear like wins, any wins this week that are happening with your clients, any wins that are happening in your business. Nothing. Are y'all trying to? Off meds, pounds lost, the best they have ever felt. Yes, yes. And I'm going to come back to this in a minute. A girl texted me, she finally fit back into her favorite shirt. That's so great. Like when you help somebody do that, like you've helped like light up something in somebody else. Best shape of their life. I mean, like this should be a goal, right? I have a girl who would never stick to a program more than a few days, and she just finished her first full month. Energy for the toddler chase. Amen. Teenage is hard, but I don't miss the toddler years. So I'm going to talk about wins in a little bit with some tactical stuff, but like, yes, like become addicted to it. Like let your goal be that you wake up with somebody that is unsolicited, giving you a win. Finally found a flavor of Shakeology that my mom loves and will drink. Amen to that. I'm still trying to find a flavor my mom will drink 5 years into the business. Okay, so let me keep going. So here I signed up 8 of my girlfriends like accidentally from excitement, right? Put them in Erin's challenge group, threw them on a text thread with me. And it was my goal every day to like show up in that challenge group because I didn't want to let my friends down and text them on the side and just keep them in it. I just wanted them to feel, the goal was for them to feel good, right? The goal wasn't like SE whatever to get leads or to hit Emerald or all this other stuff. I just wanted my friends to feel good, right? And that's what I always go back to. So here we are. This is August 23rd, or August, whatever date it was, I converted to a coach account, SE16, right? And then the next month, I was like, I am going to be a coach. I'm going to do this. I'm going to help you co-lead your challenge group, Erin. And she's like, this is the business activity tracker. You're supposed to invite people. I was like, I am not going to invite people, right? I'm just going to talk to my friends. I'm just going to talk to my friends. And so I kept on talking to my friends, same friends, right? Or their friends. And so month 2, piece of cake. So excited about my journey. I'm so excited about my friends. Had a couple friends drop off. That's what happens, but I am just living in a state of momentum, right? So that's September. October, I have a personal training background. And so I've been corporate training with people, and Erin's like, this is the best business activity tracker, and maybe you should start doing some personal development. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that side of it. I'm good. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a yoga teacher. I've got people I can talk to. I'm not going to invite, like the invite, right? And so I go talk to all my people at the corporate place. Please do not do imposter syndrome when I'm getting ready to tell you what I did. I hit SC 78 that month because I had cultivated 9 years of working my off at a corporate place, right? And built a reputation there. And went and did, again, work my ass off and did a PowerPoint with them, and put them in a challenge group. And anyways, it was not because it was like easy or whatever. It was a 9-year relationship that I built with them. So this is October, right? November comes around, and they say in this business, what you do 3 months prior shows up 3 months later. So what have I done 3 months prior? I really hadn't invited. I hadn't really shown up on social media consistently. And I sure as heck wasn't reading personal development, right? Because I was a yoga teacher and I already checked that box. And so I was at SC0. And I had crept out of my house the Monday before Thanksgiving to go train at the corporate place, right? In a windowless room where they watched Fox News, and I trained them for hours. And then so I left the house at 4:30, didn't see my kids. And then I had to go fly across town to go teach a yoga class at 9:30. And then it was going to be ping pong, ping pong, ping pong until I got my kids. And I was really not happy with myself because I was tired and I was at ST0. And I was like, this business does not work. This does not work. I've run out of people, right? And so I trained the people. I got in the car to go teach yoga, and I ran in the most massive traffic jam in Charleston. And I had to call the person or the person that owned the yoga studio and say, I can't teach the class. You have to sub it out. So that was going to be like another $40 gone. $40. And I sat literally in my SHIT and that traffic and got really honest with myself. And I like to say that was like a God moment for me. Like the traffic jam was perfectly placed on that Monday before Thanksgiving, where I believed to the tips of my toes that I was out of this business. Called Erin, said, this is just not for me. She met me where I was. She was like, okay. and drove home because I couldn't teach the class. But right before I got home, I like literally remember this, like turn the corner, and I thought to myself, this business or this company has workout programs that are changing you. This company has a nutrition plan that's healing some disordered eating you've had since the age of 13, right? And this company has a business plan, and you're just choosing not to follow it for whatever reason. And I didn't really know the reason at that point where I was choosing. I'm still uncovering the layers of reasons with all the personal development. And I got really mad that I was doing this to my family. I got really mad that I was the reason that was standing in the way of like not seeing my kids and making my kids breakfast in the morning, and that my kids were getting what was left of me. Right. And so I came home, I pulled out that bat. It was a piece of paper, and I head down, did the work. And I subbed out my next like 3 classes that I had to teach. And I was like, I'm not getting up from this computer until I've signed up 3 people. And so when the why, y'all, becomes powerful enough and it like speaks to you, the how becomes just shows the way, right? You got to really uncover the layers of the why. So I'm going to just shift gears a little bit now and just talk about that why. And I know that y'all have probably listened to trainings from Moira Kusaba on this. If you haven't, please do. She is Erin's coach. She is my up line. But really, guys, digging deep into your why so it becomes so deeply personal. And for me, it was, I want to show up for my kids. I want my kids to have a mom that has memories of a mom not so tired, memories of a mom that's not dragging them all around town in the summer times to teach yoga and personal training. I want to make breakfast for my kids. I want to take my kids on vacations. Like, I want to be that mom. And then what you got to do, this is what I did. I told them. And when you tell kids that are, so my son is 15, so that he was 10, and my daughter was 8, 9. When you tell an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old that you're going to start making breakfast for them, you don't know when it's going to be, but that's your goal, and you're going to start taking them on trips, they going to ask you when. And they going to ask you a lot, right? And so then I attached every single thing that I didn't want to do in the business activity tracker: invite, follow up, make connections, do scary post, to me going to my kids 5 years from now, which is crazy to think of this because here I am 5 years from now, me going to my kids 5 years from now and them asking me at 15, why didn't we ever go on that vacation? Why didn't you ever make me breakfast? And me saying, because I just didn't want to post. I didn't want to invite. I didn't want to follow the business activity tracker. I was too afraid of what people thought of me. I was too afraid of being ghosted. I was too afraid of getting no's, right? And so when you have that why that's deep enough, it eliminates the excuses, right? And the how becomes apparent. And it forces you into action, because then you learn through all your mistakes. You're not going to learn until you have the mistake, right? I always teach my team that mistakes are feedback. Like, get super curious if you didn't hit a goal last month. Get super curious if you send a bunch of invites and you don't get any back. It doesn't mean that you failed. You just got to get curious. Just get super curious around it. Like, change your mindset around that. So I'm gonna keep making sure that I'm looking at my notes. Are you impressed that I made notes? So I'm making sure that I'm not getting too off on a tangent. So this is something that I heard on Trent Shelton's, I'm reading or I'm listening to his book right now. And it spoke to me now, because I still do this now, and spoke to me 5 years from now and every space in between. You have to get over that easier said than done mindset, because it's a crutch that allows you to stay stuck, right? So y'all are on a pretty bad ass team, right? And I feel this. I'm on, the top coaches team. And my coach is Erin Hopkins, who's I think she's number 5 right now. Like, she's totally in the near top 10, like all hands on deck, top 10. And even in my absolute dire love and support for Erin Hopkins, will do that to myself. Must be nice. Must be nice, right? And you got to check yourself with that. because reminding yourself of your story, hearing your coach's story, understanding that we're all just Jolie from the block, right? That we all started that way, makes it as proof, not a must be nice, right? I can't read my handwriting on the next thing I said, so it must not be that profound. Okay, so I'm going to shift to 4 things because I want to give y'all some tactical things. And I hope that y'all could take away any parts of my story and things, any parts of how I actually got into this, and any parts of my story with, you know, the start and stop feeling and wanting to quit feeling, and hopefully you can see parts of that maybe that you can relate for your own story and apply in your business. But I do want to give you like 4 tactical things you can do now to help with your business. Okay. So the first thing is, you heard me talk about my why. Like literally, guys, the most important thing you can do is find a why that makes you cry, right? And when I'm working with my coaches, it usually starts with, so this is for you to help with yourself and when you're helping with your team. It usually starts when I say, you know, why do you want to do this? And it usually starts with, I want to help people, which absolutely, we all are coming here to help people. Why do you want to help people? So you need to ask that why question of yourself and of the people that are on your team at least 8 times, right? Why do you want to help people? How will that make you feel when you help people? How will it make you feel when they text you that they did this? How will it make you feel? What will it feel like when you get your first paycheck? How much do you think that paycheck's going to be? What will that do for your family? Like, guys, I got my first paycheck with Beachbody. I was sitting in the parking lot of a yoga studio at 7 a.m., didn't see my kids. And the class, nobody showed up for the class, so I wasn't going to get paid. I went into my car, checked my bank account, which I always used to do because I was always sliding money around. And I was like, and it was like $200. $200. Like, I was like, I just helped 4 people like feel good, and I got paid. I like don't feel like I should be getting paid, and I'm like sloughing myself all over town, not seeing my kids, and I don't even know if this shit's working. Teaching yoga, like I don't know if these people are going to come back and see me or not. They certainly don't come and say I changed their life. They just certainly don't say I'm coming off of cholesterol medicine. So like really like dig down with that and think about that with yourself where you are now. Like when you got that first paycheck, what did it do for you? I don't care if it was just one challenge pack sale. What difference did that make for you? And then help that pull that out of your coaches or remind yourself of it. Find that why that makes you cry. Okay, so number 2 is get really real with yourself and with your followers. Okay. What I mean by this is really, guys, nobody wants like the Beachbody coach that like throws up the inspirational quote on a Tuesday, does a transformation or the inspirational quote on a Monday, transformation post on a Tuesday, you know, working out in your gym on Wednesday, something to eat on Thursday, something, you know, get really real. You heard that I am a huge Braves fan. So I'm talking in my stories right now about the Braves, right? Nothing to do with coaching or Beachbody. You heard that I'm a, here she is. Obsessed with her. My golden doodle. I talk about her all the time in my stories, right? You hear that I'm a teenage mom, and that is super real and relatable to other people that are raising teenagers, right? Anybody here raising teenagers? No? Holy. You best believe my challenge group is full of golden doodle people and teenage mamas right now, because that's all I'm talking about in my stories. So get really real. So so in this like number 2 thing of getting really real is I want you to think of the top 3 things that make you you, right? So what is unique to you? And then you make sure that you are talking or showing or displaying those three things every single day in your stories. Yes, talk about your challenge group. Yes, talk about the coaching opportunity. Yes, show your food. Yes, show all that stuff. That's white noise, right? But show your authentic three things in your stories and in your grid. So it needs to be in your top 9, right? Let's go back to the story thing. When you're checking those boxes that are talking about making sure that you're doing some kind of product in there, how does that relate to those 3? So when I'm talking about Shakeology, I'm not saying Shakeology. I'm saying, like, I don't understand how mamas of teens do not do life without ashwagandha. And they're like, what's ashwagandha? And that develops a conversation, right? So really getting real with yourself, niche, 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 and think of your top 3 things. And guys, this takes the confusion and the anxiety out of social media. I see your niche as like a colander. So here's my colander, and it's golden doodle, teen mama, and 40 in her 40s helping people with their metabolism, right? That's my niche. I see a reel that I want to do. I shake it through the niche, and out comes Jolee's reel, right? I want to talk about my transformation post. I shake it through my niche. Out comes Jolee's version of it. Do you see how that simplifies everything? So yeah, you do know you need to be talking about the coaching opportunity. You do know you need to be doing all those things. But when you have niche down so much, people trust you. You have more things to talk about in your stories, and you can build relationships with people. And this is a relationship business. The goal is always to get back to how you got into this challenge group. And it was through a relationship, right? So, which brings me to number 3 is, how can you wake up and serve every day on your social media and to your clients, where you wake up with inbox full of conversations? And if you're not waking to an inbox full, you got to get real curious about that, right? So I'm not saying inbox full of, if anybody learns how to do the crack the formula on this, where people are like, I'll join your group, I'll join your group, I'll join your group. Please sign me up for that training. I will pay to get in that training. Okay. It's just not how this business works. We're not selling the scented candle of the month. We are selling people how to look and believe in themselves. Right. And so that takes a lot of relationship and trust and consistency. And so what I mean by inbox full is, at any given point, I've got somebody asking me what kind of golden doodle Rosie is, what kind of dog food does she eat. I'm talking about cutting poop off of her bottom, and I've got people giving me advice on that. I'm talking about my teenager talking back to me and asking for advice for that, and they're giving me advice. I'm just constantly in there asking for advice, being relatable, and these people are talking back to me, right? These are just people in my friend circle just having conversations. So the goal every day is to have an inbox full. How can you adjust your conversations, adjust your social media through filtering through your niche to have that happen? And then number 4, this is the promised land. You have earned the right to mass invite. So I believe that we as a culture are scared of quickly inviting people, because we see so many people bashing the whole direct sales industry for hey girling people. And I am not telling you to hey girl people at all. I'm telling you to get super clear on your why. I'm telling you to get real with your followers and niche down and add them value every day. And I'm asking you to make conversations every day with your followers. So when you have a boot camp that has a start date, or a coach opportunity webinar or whatever you're inviting to with the coach opportunity start date, because that is what our culture is conditioned to, you have earned the right to copy, paste, send in your voice an invitation to either one of those opportunities. Because the person on the other end has talked to you about dog poop, Braves games, and how to handle your teenager that talks back to you. They don't know. You're also, DMs have become, in my opinion, white noise to people. People get a DM and they ignore it, right? How can you make your DM not white noise? So that when you have earned the right to mass invite, that they think that it's just Jolee. She's want to talk to me again. And I do want to talk to them again, but I'm also running a business, right? And I got to plant as many seeds as I can, because every invite is a seed planted. It's not a guaranteed somebody in your challenge group. And so with my personal flow with this, I truly, guys, am inviting every day, but I'm not mass inviting every day. There's no way, because it turns into white noise again. It turns into trash. It turns into what I don't want to cultivate, right? I am mass inviting twice a month. So it might be like a 2-day mass invite situation where I'm like 1 day in my stories, 1 day on a hard post, but it's like 2 days of focused mass inviting a month for a challenge group and a coaching opportunity. Every day I'm inviting. Every day I'm like having conversations. And if the next thing I need to just be like, girl, you just need to join my group. You know what I mean? That I'm just voice clipping, or you just need to join my group. So those are like more personalized invites. But every single day I carve out time to make those connections, to be in my stories, to be authentic, and to have the goal of the story where I have interaction that has nothing to do with Beachbody. Absolutely nothing to do with Beachbody, right? It's about creating trust and relatability with that. And so what happens when you're doing that as well, your stuff's getting fed to them more. The algorithm's working in your favor, right? That is really like the bulk of what I had. I wanted to be able to give y'all tactical advice of what you can apply right now, but I wanted to like leave it open for questions that y'all have. I have like passion sweats.
I have so many notes and I'm just like, wow, you brought the nuggets tonight. I'm like, oh, I have so much that I'm excited to get in and do within my social. That's just one of the things I absolutely love about you. Like, you've just nailed that. And the tactical things were perfect. Like, I can't. I have so many notes. I'm going to skim over them to see where I highlighted or asked for questions. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask or say right now? Other than how awesome she is. Like, she's hilarious. Go watch some of her reels. I die. I'm like, I look forward to watching. When I'm in a bad mood, I watch Jolee.
And y'all, I mean, like, I want to like keep it super real with y'all. I have reels that like, phew, take off, no clue why they do, right? And like, I just did a reel today. I'm like, that is going viral. I am like, got my ticket to going viral, and it's like, I think my mom liked it. Like, it's just not. And so you got to develop like a sense of humor around this stuff, right? Because I can truly lay my head on the pillow every night knowing that I have done the daily drops to serve that are gonna result in changing people's lives and are gonna result in me, which they did 2 years in, guys. Like, spoiler alert, 2 years into this business, I retired myself from teaching yoga and personal training. 3 years into the business, this is Beachbody guarantees no level of success. You know that. 3 years in, I was able to allow my husband to transfer from working for, a corporate law firm that was just not serving his health or our family, and go transition to work for his dad, which has been the most God blessing thing we could have with all the poor health his family has had in the past 2 years. And I think, like, if I hadn't had that traffic jam and continue to have the traffic jam that I have to like get curious about, right? This all wouldn't be here. I would be sitting on that sofa, probably watching Braves, not gonna lie, but scrolling social media, drinking wine at 47 and not really having any ambition. And tomorrow I would have not seen my kids. They probably wouldn't care at that point because they're teenagers, right? And I would have gone to go teach in a windowless place. Why my clients watch Fox News. Nothing against Fox News, but I just don't watch the news. So it's just, to me, it's like was getting super real of pain and regret. And I didn't want to deal with pain or regret. I've been dealing with pain and regret my whole life. So it was just adopting that she can, why not me attitude, instead of like that other flip side of like using the crutch of like, must be nice, right? Let's see if there's another question.
I have one. What was number 3? I got 1,
Yeah.
2, and 4, and I missed 3. Please.
Yes, number 3 is having the goal of how many combos can you have in a day? Like how many combos? And so when I wake up and after I'm morning processed and everything, if I have nothing in my inbox, I'm like, okay, did something wrong yesterday. I need to look and see how I didn't show up right, you know? And I'm not telling y'all to let your life be obsessed by social media and just constantly be on it. I definitely like take a Saturday break most Saturdays, and I don't have notifications on in my phone, and it's like set times that I'm like doing all those things. So definitely time management, that stuff. But like number 3 is how many combos, like how many can you have a DM, can you have an inbox full of black dots that you need to check, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Anything else?
I just think,
Yes, sorry. I was
no.
driving
Yeah.
soccer because I have 4 teams. I'm like, no,
Oh, yay. You and I need to be besties.
I love following you. I love your IG. It's so fun. Katrina told me about you. She's like, you got to follow Jolee. I'm like,
I
okay.
love you do. Yes. Thank you.
I love how you said get curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what kind of questions you ask yourself when you're getting curious and what you kind of say, like evaluatively. Is that the word?
You know, to me, I didn't even realize I was really doing this until I started to like lead a team, you know? And I really talked about it a lot on my last Diamond retreat. And so I will say, I can remember the first time I got real curious was my social media. And I was like, why do I have like 500 followers and I'm posting every single day? Why is that not growing? And like, why are other people's growing and not mine? And so it really is adopting that mindset that if she can, why can't I? You know? And then I had to like get super honest. I mean, Trent Shelton talks about this a lot. Like you can't change your future unless you accept your reality and get real honest with your reality. And like for me in that moment, I was like, I wouldn't follow me. You know, I wouldn't follow me. I wouldn't share this stuff with people. You know, that was the first like whoo, light bulb moment. And also it came from a why, a really deep why. Like I want to make breakfast for my kids in the morning, and I'm not going to do it with 500 people following me on Instagram. That's not that I'm going to tap out. Right. Even if every single one signs up, which I know they're not, 500, I'm going to tap out, So that's another thing, is going back to the why. And I forgot to say this, is that with that number 1, finding the why that makes you cry, read it every day. Every single day. And like literally give that gift to yourself, but you're also giving it to your kids. John Maxwell said this. And he's, you know, there's Jim Rohn said this, Jim Rohn, because Jim Rohn passed away. Jim Rohn said, you know, yes, I'm going to leave my family wealth, but really what I'm going to leave my family is a legacy and what in the written word. And it was in his personal journals. So I know, because I have been journaling this why for 5 years, the why has been met. So I've got to keep digging deeper, you know, otherwise I can be like, check, made breakfast for my kids, you know, and there's really no reason to get curious anymore. So it really does tie a lot back to that, and then just keep it as a constant reminder. Does that help, Heather? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're
It's just always
welcome.
to have that little, like the right question to ask yourself, you know, as
Yeah.
you're at that.
Yeah. I think that the right question comes because you have the why that's so deep that makes you not self-sabotage and feel like you're an imposter. And it turns it into like, if her, why not me? Okay, pull up your big girl pants and let's do this, you know? Yeah. And that's just something that gets cultivated. Oh my God, that baby, I just want to like snuggle it. It's so cute. It's just something that just gets stronger over reading it and stronger over the years. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Can you
welcome.
tell us what your 3 unique things are? Like, I know one's probably
Mine?
Yeah, tell us what your three are.
Mini golden doodle. You can see it in my bio, but mini golden doodle, mama to teens. And then I say that I help women jumpstart their metabolism. And then I just added, what did I even say? I said something about business mentor to burnt out fit pros. So I actually have 4 now because I'm in heavy recruiting mode.
Yeah, babe, 15.
So it's specific. So I'm, yes, 15-star, you know my goal.
I love it. I just wanted to give everybody an idea because we did a social media audit a few weeks ago and we talked about their bios, right? And so that, you said it for me. They should tie together, right? And maybe you can only think of 2 right now. So, you know, try to brainstorm, you know, but it should be stuff that is reflected in your posts and things you talk about, all those things. But she does a very good job.
Yeah, I think it's important that you're talking about what you do as a coach, so it's apparent, and what the uniqueness of what it is specifically, but then also having, you know, the other things that are not coachy that allow you to like have so much relatability with other people, but also can still be woven into coach post, into challenge group post, right? Because people are not doing this so they can drink Shakeology and see Shanti, which is awesome. I think the workout programs are great and Shakeology is incredible. They're doing this because they see something in you that they see in themselves and they want what you were able to obtain.
Love it.
They need you to light the path.
Does anybody else have any other questions? We kept her till 10, sorry. By all means, open book.
Well, it was great to see all of y'all. I really enjoyed the time, and I'm going to get you, Katrina, the Canva slide, or the Canva file of the bougie Gatorade.
I love it. Let's take a quick picture so we can check.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Betsy, you want to check the camera? Yeah. Or can you? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job, guys. Yes, please send it. Jolee, I cannot thank you enough. You mean the world to me. This was perfect.
Absolutely.
You brought it. Your story just yanks at my heartstrings. So it really relates back to why do you guys do it? You know, like, look at her. That was crazy. So much goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we shall see you soon. Good luck.
All right, bye y'all. Have a great evening. Go Braves.